Sports Talk with the Cowboy.
Welcome and thanks for riding with the Cowboy. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defeated the New Orleans Saints 25-9 Sunday in the Superdome in New Orleans and became 3-1. A great victory. Baker Mayfield played excellent. The receivers played well. We had a beautiful defensive game with Antonio Winfield recovering a fumble and intercepting the pass. It's a great game. Go up to beat the division foes, the New Orleans Saints, in the Superdome with their starting quarterback, Derek Carr, starting. He looked shabby, but Baker Mayfield didn't. The game continued to progress as we thought it would. Mayfield was in command of the offense. He bought himself time and got the passes accurate, did not throw them wild. We moved down the field, scored on them at will, and won the game handily. There was no doubt from the first quarter to the last second who was going to win the game. The Bucs imposed their will on the New Orleans Saints physically and mentally Sunday in the Superdome in New Orleans. Went to 3-1. We're on a bye this week. We take on the Detroit Lions the 15th of October at Raymond James Stadium. The throwback jerseys, the creamsicle orange, back for that one game, the 15th of October at Raymond James Stadium, Tampa. Okay, so the creamsicles are coming back the 15th, and a 3-1 team's going to be going out on that field against the Detroit Lions. Congratulations to Todd Bowles, to Baker Mayfield, Chris Godwin stepping up. Mike Evans had a small hamstring injury during the game, but he was riding the bike during the game and doesn't seem to going to hold him up any. And we've got this bye week coming up this week. We're not going to be playing, but no other serious injuries to report. Our secondary looked stunning. They played great. They took the ball away. They stopped Olave, their number one receiver, to 4 yards. An excellent defensive game, an excellent offensive game, exactly what Dave Canales ordered, exactly what we thought Baker Mayfield would do. If he were to be successful, he would do these things, and he has done those things. And congratulations to Baker Mayfield, okay? And all the Tampa fans better look real close at Baker Mayfield, because no matter what you think of him, they're playing together as a unit. And this team can win some games. And I'm very proud of what happened Sunday, and I'm very proud of the Buccaneers and where they are. And we get some of these injuries, some of these nicked players back in the lineup. We've got 13 rookies on the team. It's unbelievable how good they're playing. So congratulations to the Bucs. Great game, as good as we could have ever expected. Enjoy the bye week. Enjoy your week off until you play the Lions. In other news, the Detroit Lions won their game against the Green Bay Packers this week. The Miami Dolphins were beaten by the Buffalo Bills in quite a great fashion, even after Miami scored 70 points the week before against Denver. Denver beat Chicago in a comeback. The two worst teams in all of football, and Denver won out and beat Chicago, even though Chicago had a 21-point lead at one point. A lot of good action this week, even though the Bucs aren't in it. We'll keep you posted on what's going on. We'll have a show before the game against the Detroit Lions. Now we're going to go to the Tampa Bay Rays, who sadly tonight were eliminated from the American League wild card, losing 2 straight games to the Texas Rangers. And as the taping of this show, just moments before we started this taping, the Tampa Bay Rays were defeated 7-1 by the Texas Rangers in Game 2 today, ending the 2023 season of our Tampa Bay Rays. They won 99 games and lost 63 during the regular season, almost 100 games that they won of the 162. And they hosted these games, the 3-game series and the wild card series. But we were defeated handily yesterday 4-0, and we were handily beaten today 7-1. And the Tampa Bay Rays season is over until next February. So congratulations for being a wild card. We're very disappointed here at Sports Talk with the Cowboy on the outcome. We didn't think the team looked prepared. They were a shamble of what they once were. This is a team that won 13 games straight at the start of the season, tied a Major League record for most wins at the start of a season, 13 straight wins. They were leading in every category way into June. And this is the outcome that we got with 99 wins. We didn't win the division. The Orioles beat us by a game and a half. We went into this wild card, the number 1 wild card. We got the home wild card every game, all 3 of them, if there was 3. And they beat us the first 2. And we didn't look like we were in either one of them. It was a very disappointing end to the season. There's no question about it. It's got to be a lot of soul searching, because if you win 150 games but you don't win the World Series, you don't get the job done. And the Rays did not get the job done. There's a lot of reasons why, but that ends our season. We're going to continue to hope for better things next year, and some of these injuries and some of these other players can come back. But it was a disappointing loss tonight to the Texas Rangers. And but they did win off the field with the new stadium, and they went off the field in a lot of other things, and they played a good season, but it comes down to the championships. Now we're going to move on to NASCAR, and the NASCAR race this week, at Talladega, which was won by William Byron. They continue to win at Hendricks, and they continue to show dominance on the track. This is going to be the Roval this week in Charlotte Roval, and it'll be the cut from now 12 drivers down to 8. In the Ryder Cup, the United States was beaten in golf by Europe and Italy. They were beaten handily this year. Last Ryder Cup we won. This year the Europeans won it. And that was what happened this weekend in golf. Now we're going to go to your questions. And Phyllis, your question is, what about the University of South Florida victory this week against Navy? Phyllis, I know you and Alice are friends and you're USF fans. And Phyllis, I'm very happy to tell you that the University of South Florida beat the Navy midshipmen Saturday and improved their record to 3-2. And we can all be absolutely proud of the way that Alex Golish has got the University of South Florida Bulls playing football over there in Tampa, and how they are winning games. And I'm very, very proud at what they're doing over there, being that for 4-26, Jeff Scott's 3 years there as a coach, 4 wins and 26 losses. We've already won 3 games out of the first 5. So I should tell you, Phyllis, as I've told Alice, that we're very pleased with USF. It was a great game, and I'm very proud of what they're doing over there with a young quarterback that we can groom as years go on, and the sky's the limit to what he's doing over there right now. So we're looking forward to a big game this week, and hope we can pull it off up at University of Alabama, Birmingham, UAB. With an ex-Buck, Trent Dilfer, the new head coach up there, ex-Buccaneer, first-round pick, Trent Dilfer, that played for the Buccaneers, is the new head coach of the University of Alabama. So, big things this week. Let's hope we can get up there and get that victory and get to 4-2. That didn't even sound better, because if we get to 6, we're bowl eligible. But we're hoping on Bon Hope. Thank you, Phyllis, and God bless you for your question. Next one's from Tammy, and Tammy wanted to know what I thought about this base stealing and the 30-second rule in baseball this year. And I think it was good on both counts. The base stealing was very much improved because of the clock that the pitcher had to be on to get that ball thrown to catcher, and they knew how many seconds he had on it. He'd get close and he'd have to throw it, and they knew when they could make the jump. And I think it was a very good, and the bases being changed helped the stealing too, and moved the game up faster, and the games were quicker, a little bit better than 2 hours, 2.5 hours at the most, and they weren't the traditional 3.5 hour games. God bless you, and thank you for your question. And the last question tonight is from David, and David wanted to know that I think Baker Mayfield has deserved to be considered next year for a contract. I think Baker's well on his way, David. And if I was Jason Light, which we're not, but if we had our chances and we win 9 or 10 games, he wouldn't get out of the building before we get him on an extension, and then we could build on. But we're just going to see. But for right now, it's working. After a while, the other defenses get to know what you're doing. We'll see how it goes, but they're playing as a unit, and they're playing tough. And God bless you for your question. DJX, what you got for me tonight?
Well, Cowboy, you know what it is. Let's get right off into it, buddy. All right. Are you happy with Steve Wilkes after the game 4? After 4 games?
Yes. I'm satisfied with him.
Satisfied with him?
Just satisfied.
All right. Free agent Ellison Smith visits Steelers Wednesday. What you think about that?
The Steelers need all the help they can get after getting beat by the Houston Texans this week in Pittsburgh. I don't know what's happened to the Steelers. Preseason we talked about how good they were doing, and they're just a fantastic team, but they've just crumbled. I don't know if it's play Kenny Pickett. I don't know what's happened. Kenny Pickett was all world. Everything was going their way. They looked good through the preseason. They were beating people down in the preseason, high in the preseason polls, and they have just laid an egg 2 weeks in a row. They look terrible. So anybody they can bring in, bring them.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Mason Cole dismisses frustration over not running the ball on the 4th down.
Well, frustration. I understand his frustration because if they would have run the ball on the 4th down and got it, then they would have won the game.
Right.
So, it's you win or lose.
It'd be like that sometimes. And
it's real quick. You got to make the decision.
Real quick. Somebody had to make it, and one had to be made.
Yeah.
So that's the way that go. All right, let's go to the boards. Kenny Pickett has a ton of confidence in Broderick Jones with Dan Moore Jr. out against Baltimore.
Well, he's got these receivers Kenny has, and I don't know exactly what it is, but they just didn't play Steeler football last week against the Texans, and they've got to get that toughness, that edge, that Steelerness about them back. And if this receiver and him's been working out throughout the preseason, there's nobody on the Steelers that have impressed me as a top 10 receiver. So if you got anybody and catch the ball and you can run a route with and got some timing and will work with, let them go.
Right. All right, and for the last one, this the Rays. Rays roasted after 7-1 loss.
I don't blame them for being roasted, DJX. It's a terrible way to go out when you win 13 games to the all-time record of starting the season with wins. You're the first team to 50. You're ahead of the whole pack by 10 or 12. You got number one in each category. I'm talking hitting, stealing, RBIs, home runs, the whole works. Beautiful pitching staff, and I know it all went down and fell apart, and people got hurt, things happened. But at the end of the day, you did not win the East. You became the wild card, but you got to host the games. But you were beaten badly these last 2 games. They were not beaten by score, but the team they were playing just outclassed them. Sometimes
What you think happened? What you think made?
They lost so many of their star and key players that they thought that they could just go get anybody.
Yeah.
From the Durham, and these guys have got good pedigrees. They're young, but that's what they had. So they bring them up. So, we just plug these guys in. Well, it didn't work. Frankly, I mean, they just looked flat. I watched both games. They just didn't have no chemistry. I mean, they couldn't hit the ball. They couldn't move anybody around the base. This first game they were shut out. They didn't score any runs. Today they scored 1. They had 11 runs scored on them. And they scored 1 run in 2 games. They was beaten by not scoring a run. At the end of the game, this game today, the announcer said if the Rays do not score 1 run, they will have the major league record of unscoring in the playoffs by inning. For the last 3 years, they've done this. They go into a game and they just absolutely froze like a deer in headlights, and they couldn't score anything.
That's a major turnaround right there. That's not good.
So if you're Kevin Cash for 3 years now, you've gone to a playoff series and lost in this fashion. Man, that's got to haunt you.
Yeah, that hurts. All right, Cowboy. Well, that's what I got for you tonight.
Well, thank you. God bless you, DJX.
God bless you, too.
Everybody continue to send the comments in. We will continue to take them. We had abbreviated college schedule this week. A lot of teams have got that bye week. The Bucs have their bye week. Be good to your neighbor. If you can lend a hand, give one. If not, still give it. We need the kindness. We don't need the hate. We are all individuals, but we're all special in God's eyes. Till next show, God bless you, and Cowboy out.